I feel this way since the first time he texted about Georgia, about my country.
The terrifying aftermath of a Russian airstrike in central Georgia.
Since he texted that, I wanted to take his head off.
Unbelievable knockout by Topuria. The O2 can't believe what's just happened.
Ilia Topuria is currently one of the most interesting fighters in the UFC. He has a 13-0 record with 9 finishes in the first round, he is a BJJ Black Belt and he is also the youngest in the Featherweight rankings. But how did the 26-year-old fighter from Spain make it this far? Ilia was born in Halle, Germany. He was introduced to martial arts from a very young age. He started doing judo at the age of 4. When his family moved to Georgia, he started doing Greco-Roman wrestling. And at 15, when they moved to Spain, he started training MMA at the Clement factory. Back then, mixed martial arts weren't as popular as they are today. People at his school thought that he was dangerous and were scared of him. After winning an amateur tournament, he turned professional in 2015 in a local Spanish promotion. His first 4 opponents were finished by submission in the first round. Then he made his international debut at Cage MMA in Finland, which he also won by submission in the first round. In the same year, Ilia and his brother Alex became black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He was asked to compete for the bantamweight belt at Cage Warriors. Even though he put his opponent to sleep by anaconda choke, he did not win the belt because he missed weight. In 2019, he signed with Brave FC, where he submitted his first opponent in the first round and knocked his second opponent out, also in the first round. One day, he got a phone call which changed his life. He was asked to replace Song Woi Choi and fight Yusuf Zalal in the UFC. Even though the fight was on short notice, he saw the huge opportunity and took the chance. In the first round, Topuria was controlling the center of the octagon. Some punches were thrown, but nothing special happened. Then, as Zalal stepped in with a cross, Topuria saw the opportunity and shot a double leg. After some clinching on the cage, Topuria delivers this beautiful suplex, which puts him straight into the side mount, where he transitions to the mount. Instead of ground and pounding his opponent, Topuria was looking for a submission, and kept transitioning between positions till the end of the round. In the second round, Zalal took a different approach and did not want to fight standing anymore. He shoots a single leg but can't quite finish the takedown and pushes Topuria against the cage wall. After separating, there is a wild exchange of punches, which ends with a single leg takedown by Topuria, because Zalal was trying to knee him to the head the whole time. Topuria ends up on top again and controls him, looking for a submission till the round ends. In the third round, Topuria stopped exchanging punches and shot for a single leg, while Zalal tried yet another failed knee to the head. After some submission attempts and control time, both fighters stand up, Ilia takes him down again, and the round ends. Ilia gets the win by unanimous decision. His second UFC fight was against Damian Jackson, a fighter with a lot of experience. Through using his footwork, feinting and precise striking, Ilia controls the center of the octagon. After Jackson pressures him into the corner, he shoots for a takedown, but Topuria defends. The back and forth keeps going till Topuria pressures him against the cage. Both fighters are exchanging wildly, and Topuria shuts off his lights with a right overhand straight to the head. His third fight was against Ryan Hall, the Wizard, a third-degree black belt who was 8-1 leading up to this fight. Ryan is known for the usage of the Imanari roll, which is a BJJ technique which was invented by Masakazu Imanari, where the attacker rolls into his opponent to leg lock him. Even though there are some successful examples in MMA, like Ryan Hall, I don't think it's the best MMA technique. And I'm gonna show you why.
Round 1, fight!
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
What the hell?
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Topuria's next fight was against Jay Herbert, a former Cage Warriors champion. Jay used his reach advantage and the jab very well in this fight, and we got to see Topuria struggle for the first time. A well-executed kick to the head dropped Topuria. In order to regenerate, Ilia starts wrestling and clinching his opponent against the cage. Ilia picks him up and smashes him down. After being controlled on the ground, Herbert stands up and drops Topuria's mouthpiece. This makes referee Mark interfere and Bisping drops this sentence.
Herb Dean's obviously not in the building.
Because, you know. Herbert drops his mouthpiece again with a knee to the head and the round ends. Except for the takedown, this round did not look good for Topuria. In the second round, both fighters exchanged hands. Ilia pressured him against the cage and...
I see I'm getting called out by Ilia Topuria now to fight. You see that, buddy? I've been eating peanut butter cookies for like 3 weeks now, and I'll still get off my couch and whoop your ass, buddy. I don't give a damn about them abs.
Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell, born and raised in Cabot, Arkansas. He went into this fight with a 15-0 record with 9 submissions, his most famous performance being the second twister that was ever hit in the UFC. Going into this fight, UFC fans only got to see Topuria strike. What they didn't know about was his ground game. In this fight, Topuria got to prove himself. Bryce tries to single leg Ilia, but his defense is too good. Ilia is building up pressure while throwing some haymakers after being pushed to the cage. Bryce is able to take him down. This takedown did not help him though because the clock ran out shortly after. In the second round, Ilia was starting to put the pressure on. Bryce lands a combination and that's when Ilia has enough. He gives him a 3-piece and sits him down. To the surprise of many, Ilia followed him down to the ground because he was not intimidated by Mitchell's ground game. Bryce is able to stand up, but not for too long. Ilia pushes him against the cage and finishes his first top 10 ranked opponent with a head and arm choke.
This ain't entertainment, taking a fight, that's always sacred. My family is watching, they're up there in heaven. I must bring them honor and there's no exception. They see me.
I couldn't control my emotions in that moment. You know, it's hard to see a motherfucker like him and don't say anything. We were living in Georgia in 2008. A lot of guys from my class, my friends, I saw all of them how their parents were dying in the war and crazy situations. You know, I can't even explain how the situation was.
Okay, let's get to the topic. Paddy versus Topuria. Basically, Paddy disrespected Georgia and the war that went on there, and Topuria as a Georgian didn't take this well. The beef broke out and then you saw the little altercation that I showed in the intro of the video. I personally think that Paddy's ducking Ilia because he's not going to fight someone like him. In the last fight against Jared, you could see a lot of his flaws and a lot of problems that he just has in his striking and in his game. I think a fighter like Ilia is too dangerous for him right now, so I don't think that they're going to fight right now. Paddy just needs some time to improve. I also think that this fight doesn't really make sense for Ilia because he is a ranked fighter, he's in the top 10s, Paddy isn't, and why should Topuria fight someone like Paddy? Only for the name? Paddy kinda wrecked his own name with his last performance because a lot of people went against him and against him being so delusional. Even though I don't think the fight is going to happen, at least not in the near future, I would like to see both of them fight because there just has been this tension in the room and this elephant in the room. And I think the UFC is also planning something like that because why else would they put them in the same fight card? Let me know your opinion and peace.